Summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch her hair. Walk with me. All summer long we sang a song and strolled that golden sand. Hey, gang! Everybody's here. Thank you. I see there were a bunch of comments before we went live here, and we thank you for all the well wishes for my wife. And as you can see too, we have a new stream boss. Something went terribly wrong. Is not is now stream boss. So everybody, props to something went terribly wrong. Um, uh, well, I'll give updates a couple times during the stream. Um, she's got right now. She first came down with it. Well, I think it was the 24th, but we're going with the 25th Saturday, right? Would have been, yeah, 25th. Um, we are both vaccinated, which is fortunate with her. She's got what right now you would call severe flu symptoms. Just bad body aches, bad cough, so on and so forth. Of course, I'm been pumping painkillers for her, keeps the pain down somewhat. And the most important thing we have is I went out and got a pulse oximeter so we can monitor the oxygen levels in her blood. That's the most important thing. That's our key to whether or not she would need to go for medical assistance. But she's been at 95 or 96 on the oximeter all day, so she's been good. Also, Friday night she had a little bit of a fever, but that was gone by Saturday and hasn't come back. So we're hoping. My biggest concern, one of my big concerns, was when we got our shots. When I got the second shot, I told you guys I got basically like what she has now. I got bad flu symptoms for several hours on the second day, the day after. And that whole day I just didn't feel that good. My wife got next to nothing for symptoms. And that was a concern to me because the reason you have symptoms from that second shot is because your immune system is fighting. And when her immune system didn't fight, it's like, we don't want you to feel sick, but we didn't want you to have nothing. And I think that's part of the problem now is, for whatever reason, her immune system hasn't been doing that great a job. We're just fortunate that we're vaccinated, because just based on the numbers alone and what we know of what the vaccine does, I'm afraid if we weren't vaccinated, she'd be in medical care right now. But she's like I say, she's sick. She feels like absolute crap. But so far, so good as far as, again, because of the nature of COVID, you worry about it attacking the lungs. So it's all about that oxygen level in the blood. As long as that stays up, then we'll be good. No, we're not eligible for the booster shots, White Fox. We're not over 65. They're only giving them to people over 65 so far. Well, thanks, Rosalina. J Money says that's been my concern as well. When I got both shots, I had nothing. My doctor told me that could be because I already had it, but in the back of my head, I fear that you're concerned. Yeah, well, that's right. You could you already had it, and you had the antibodies, but we were pretty sure we didn't. And so, like I say, when she didn't get anything for symptoms, like just means that typically that means your immune system is not that robust. Now it could be too, Isaac, as somebody else, as J Money just mentioned. It could also be you cannot have symptoms if you did have the virus before, because you can get that asymptomatically. So that's a possibility too. I mean, I don't want anybody to freak out. And the thing is, if now more than ever, we're so thankful we went and got the vaccine, and that was one of the main reasons why for that whole year before we had a vaccine, over a year, my wife hardly ever left the house. I did everything. I went out for everything. And that was why I wanted to protect her from it. Now she had the vaccine. She wanted to go back to work. And I kept I told her, I said, listen, I'm not going to tell you can't do something, but why why be out there? And she's not wrong. She says, well, I don't want to stop living my life. And sure enough, she ended up getting it. Philip says they're only giving them to people over 65. Then why the fuck is Trudeau buying 120 million damn things? Not that many seniors in Canada. Well, that's right now, Philip. Right at the moment, that's all they've recommended. They're going to be giving it to others. I'm positive. Well, it's my opinion. It's not something I read. In my opinion, there's no doubt they'll be giving it to others. I'm actually surprised they started with only the over 65s. But yeah, she would have had it. She would have gotten it had it been available to her. Yeah, I will keep you guys posted. But just in case, just worst case scenario, she does end up having to go to the hospital and be treated. I wanted to give you guys a heads up on that too. Mainly the Gooshers, because at the Goosh we have a very specific regular schedule that never, the Gooshers will tell you, our schedule of our core anime that we watch there, our core 3, stays the same whether I'm on vacation, no matter what's going on, it always stays that same. And if something major did happen, that might interrupt that schedule. And I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I have high hopes that won't be the case because again, she's had it for a few days now. The symptoms haven't gotten worse. They haven't gotten much better for her, but they haven't gotten worse. And again, the big thing is the oxygen levels in her blood are strong. Lick said, I had the virus before I got the vaccine. I had symptoms on the day of the second, but I did go drinking on the night, so that might have been the problem. Could have been. Could have been. Yeah, that's, like I say, that was our concern. And she's, again, it's just like when you get a really, really bad flu, that's what she's got. Her body is just, fortunately, Advil, Tylenol is good for relieving the body aches from a flu, and it really takes the edge off for her as well. So she's been just sleeping mostly, and when she's downstairs, I keep her on the couch, but you have to, the doctors will tell you too. We have to keep pushing her to get up and just walk around a little bit every few hours. But hopefully she'll start getting to the other side of it. So far, the only way we were very fortunate because it's harder than hell to find those rapid tests for sale, and our local Walmart happened to have a box, and that's how we tested her and found out for sure she had it, just to make sure later on that day on Saturday. I took it too. Mine came back negative. I'm not isolating my wife. Her and I are staying together. I'm not worried about if I get it, I get it. We're isolating her from my daughter. But I'm not isolating her away from me. And so far, could be I'm just too miserable and crusty for the virus to even want to be involved. Poppy says, I feared when I got cold symptoms, but at work we do mandatory COVID tests, so I was negative. Just had a bad cold. Yeah, I know, Poppy. That's the thing now. You're immediately, obviously, it just raises the alarms for you whenever you get any type of symptoms now. Well, thank you, Omega Ghost. Yeah, again, right now, she's feeling really sick, but not anything that's going to require hospitalization or anything at this point. The rapid tests aren't 100%, are certainly not, Isaac, 100% accurate, but when they come back positive, the vast majority of the time they are correct. It's when they come back negative that they could be wrong. So mine could have been wrong, but I don't have any symptoms. But when they do come back positive, they're typically always right. And hers wasn't even one of those, when you take those tests, there's 2 lines. And if the bottom line exists, you have it. And her line wasn't faint at all. It's like it picked it up immediately. It was there powerfully. Ashley says, good vibes to your wife, but the jokes must continue. Who's the most popular guy at the nudist colony? The one who can carry a cup of coffee in each hand and a dozen donuts. Ring toss. J Money says, one of my friends and I went to a men's conference and he ended up getting it. He and his wife never isolated from each other and his wife never got it. Yeah, and And the thing is, we do have the advantage, of course. We know that if you're vaccinated, you can shed, you can spread the disease, but again, it's less likely. And I'm vaccinated too, so we have that working for us too. Not to say I won't get it, I may, but we've got all that working for us. Chrome says your wife's health is more important to us than the schedule. Honestly, well, thank you. You should still be careful of yourself just in case it does start spreading. Well, that's what it is, And the thing is, Chrome, for us, it's just like I don't want her off on her own anyway. I've been staying right with her all the time just to make sure she's okay. And that, as I've said, with being vaccinated myself and knowing that I have a pretty robust system anyway, I'm not that concerned. I'm not looking to get it, but if I get it, I get it. Milok says, bald man is strong. He probably got COVID with the virus, no match for his immune system. It mutated. Anyone who comes into contact with this new strain suddenly wants to become a wrestler and watch anime. Yeah. If there's one thing would say in life, if there's one thing that I have been very fortunate with genetically, it's yes that for whatever reason, the entirety of my system seems to be very structurally sound. I've told you guys, the x-rays and stuff have shown that I have like ridiculously off the charts thick bone density. I hardly ever bruise. When I look back on the things I did in wrestling, it's amazing the limited amount of injuries I've had, all the smashes to the face, my nose never broke. Things like my immune system always seems to have been very strong. Anytime I go to the dentist or have had a surgery or something, Novocaine and words going out of my head again. Oh my gosh. The gas they use to put you under for surgeries do not work on me. I mean, they always have to give me like at least twice what they expect. Novocaine, if you just give me the normal shot you're supposed to get, it's like I had nothing. They have to hit me like 3-4 times. And the same too for surgeries. Mr. Popo says, looks like COVID needs to learn the pecking order. Definitely does, Mr. Popo. No, Popo, no. Wolverine says, Harry Potter fan Slytherin? Hogwarts house bed. I don't get that though. Well, I don't know anything about Harry Potter. Nothing at all. Novocaine, the legal cocaine, Philip says. Yeah. Poppy says, got an MRI next Monday. Yay, an hour of being in a machine which is fucking loud and the room is freezing. I know those rooms are always so goddamn quiet. Anesthesia. Thank you, Poppy. I don't know why that word wouldn't come. Well, you guys know certain words blank out of me. Yeah, anesthesia, Novocaine just do not work on me at all in normal amounts. And I'm assuming that has probably something to do with my immune system. Joel says, everybody's gangster until Plankton shifts into maximum overdrive. Oh, slither in bed. Gotcha, Milag. Okay, I see. Gotcha. Lick says, I read on Facebook that a vampire... Hey, Paul. That a vampire once drank the blood of a vaccinated person and died of COVID immediately. That's obviously proof that vaccines are bad. Obviously. And we heard the story on Facebook, so it has to be true. Isaac says, I put my secret stash of Friday sticky stuff into the giant vault of the Pfizer vaccine. That's why it got FDA approved. That makes sense. It was a tough decision to make because I didn't want to sacrifice my stash. But you did it for the greater good. And really, isn't that the essence of sticky stuff? The greater good. Chrome says, oh no, what kind of idiocy is this? So did you see that unvaccinated TikTokers are now calling themselves purebloods? Jesus Christ. LOL, Harry Potter reference or racial reference? Yeah, really. Philip says, sedatives are used all the time, doctor. Well, this one's used on horses. Some of these boys are pretty big. Yeah, it's right every time, Philip. I would have said, If it was only once or twice that it had happened, you'd say, okay, it's a coincidence. But every time I get Novocaine, it's become a thing now. It's like, you can give me the normal amount, but you're going to be back in here in a minute. You're going to tap on my face, and I'm going to say, yes, I can feel it. And I even told, the one dentist was like, he thought I was lying to him because he hit me with the Novocaine, came back, he's going, you can feel that? Yeah, I can feel that, fine. Oh, let me give you some more. He puts some more in, comes back, it's fine, you can feel it. Well, okay, I want you to close your eyes. I'm like, okay. Tell me when I'm tapping you. So you tap me now. Okay, I just tapped again. No, you didn't. Huh. Well, let me give you more. Like I was lying to him. Well, he was it's like, dude. And I told him, I said, listen, it's numbed a little bit. If you want to do the work, do the work. I want to get out of here. But you're asking me if I can feel it. Yeah, I can fucking feel it. And I remember when I broke my toe off, I told you guys that story when I was a teenager. They were trying to put me under to do the surgery to reattach it. And I can still remember the doctor saying to the anesthesiologist, says, okay, is he ready? He goes, nope, not yet. Hold on. And I remember him saying it 2 more times. And he says, and the third time he says, is he under? He goes, no. And I'm hearing it all, so I wasn't. And he says, listen, we got to get this done. You're going to have to hit him. And then I felt whoosh in my face. And then I went night-night. But I woke up still in the operating room. Fortunately, they had just finished, but I remember I got the joy. They had the tube down my nose, and I got the joy of experiencing the tube coming out while I was fully awake. Yeah, and now, hold on a second, guys. Look at this. Now, we've had a couple of super chats already. Let me replace this Stream Boss and see if we can get one in here that works. Hold on, just let me take this out. I don't know, or if it's just a screw up on Streamlabs is in. Okay, so let's put a new Stream Boss widget in there. Yeah, we're gonna remove Stream Boss. Let me replace it in there. Stream Boss, hey boss, add source. Okay, our Stream Boss. Let's move it over to where we keep it over here. The hell, why is it? All right. Now, I don't know who Kevin is, but that's their default. We'll see if it works when we get more in. I have no idea what happened with that. I don't have it, Calvin. My wife does. But like I say, she's, again, got really rough flu-like symptoms. She's feeling like crap. But so far, so good with keeping her out of the hospital. Philip says, who the fuck wants more Novocaine? That shit just reduces you to a drooling mess and doesn't even get you high. Yeah, I always remember that one dentist. Like, why the fuck would I lie to you, dude? It's not. I'm not a nervous sort at the dentist or anything. So he's like, close your eyes. Like, yeah, test me, dude, because I'm making it up. Yeah, Kevin, my lad, my boy. Hey, listen, Lou. Kevin's a legend here, apparently. And he is on top of things with the Stream Boss shit. It's Kevin from the one SpongeBob episode. I remember Kevin. Was Kevin the leader of the other group, if I'm remembering right? Wasn't he? Yeah, I think he was the leader. Johnny says, I was mowing the grass around 10 today, and my neighbor's 24-year-old unemployed son walked up to me and told me to stop for a few hours because he stayed up late last night and he was trying to sleep. Yeah, that one have flown. That one have flown me. I'd have been as close to his house as I could get mowing after that. Thank you, Captain Misfit. Or Kevin from Ed, and Eddie. Oh yeah, wait, was Kevin the one who had Plank? I always get the character names mixed up. Did Kevin have Plank? Chrome says, that's happened to me before. LOL. I really don't get fully knocked out when put under in hospital. I just go into a weird state where I'm cold, falling, and spinning. Yeah, that's me, Chrome. It just, stuff just doesn't work on me. But again, it's why I was able to survive, I guess, as long as I did in my wrestling career. And I can't complain when I see... Oh, Ed had Plank. Okay, thanks, Isaac. Johnny had Plank. I didn't think it was one of the Eds. Yeah, it was Johnny. That's right, Nova. Thank you. Um, excuse me. I see all the guys, who are much younger than me, and all the constant aches and pains and operations they deal with, and it makes me think, whoa, I guess I really can't complain because I get up every day without any problem, and I just have normal aches and pains here or there, but it doesn't stop me from working out every day or anything. So I can't complain with what I put my body through. Andrew says, good win for Notre Dame. Bit of a rough day for Cone getting sacked that much early. Yeah, it was, Andrew. And the thing is, he's this. We've got a lot of talented kids on the offensive line, but they just really haven't learned to play the positions yet. And he is so stationary, which is why I don't understand why Kelly is starting him instead of one of the other two, because both the other two can move around so much better. Kevin was a backwards cap skater douchebag. Okay, thanks, Licks. Yeah, I always get the names all mixed up. Not surprised. Michelle says, after 8 days on a ventilator, I had to eat pureed food for 3 days and relearn to swallow liquids. It was very unpleasant. Oh, that's awful. That's terrible. Apparently, Kevin is quite infamous, Lude. You're not kidding. I don't know. I don't know what he's done to achieve such levels, but hey, Mike. Joel says, am I the only person who loves Kool-Aid Man? Oh, yeah. I just love his gimmick. A sentient keg that holds a smaller keg, busts through walls whilst quoting Macho Man. Seriously, I love this mascot. It is funny how, Joel, the whole Kool-Aid Man persona and the whole Kool-Aid Man thing took off so much more once he had that, oh yeah, in common with the Macho Man. This is random. Did you guys know that Kevin is statistically the stupidest name? You'll never meet a Kevin who isn't an idiot. That's rough. If we have any Kevins in here, feel free to not divulge the fact that that's your name right now. Nacho says, that reminds me of a friend of mine. His body burns at a higher temperature rate than most, and because of that, most things don't work on him or works incorrectly. Usually requires high odd doses. Really? Huh, that's interesting, Nacho. Yeah, my body temperature is just nothing out of the ordinary. But again, that's the one thing I can say I'm grateful for. As far as genetics, for whatever reason, my physical makeup and apparently internally as well is I'm very stout. Put it that way. Burger King superhero name Ass Whopper. Commenter says Kevin Bacon, the greatest Avenger. Kevin Bacon will always be associated with Footloose for me. And I gotta cut loose, Footloose. And talk about a movie where it was entirely the music that made that movie palatable, because the story is so fucking stupid. The no dancing thing and the rebelling by dancing. Oh, okay. It's so freaking dumb, but the music made it. Kick off your Sunday shoes. That's right, Kyle. It did have great songs. I Need a Hero, all of them. They were all good. No, for real? Chimarayuri says, did you see next week's Death Battle as Macho Man versus Kool-Aid Man? Is it really? That's pretty good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let them just, oh, yeah, each other. Chrome says, pain? What, not normal to feel a little pain or annoyance in your body constantly? Got good pain tolerance and flexibility, both useful. Once hit my foot on a nail or something, walked it off. Yeah, my pain tolerance has always been high. My flexibility, no, none. I've never had anything for flexibility. If I did, I could have been a much more effective athlete in all the sports I played. But pain tolerance, yeah, is very high for me. Excuse me. Rosa says, Rosa says, the tree that never had to fight for sun and sky and air and light, but stood out in the open plain and always got its share of rain, never became a forest king, but lived and died a scrubby thing. That's cool. That's a good one. Yeah, Big Green says I'm expecting a lot of oh yeahs. I would say yeah. I would say they will be aplenty in that battle. I would think so. Uh, Quiet Eclipse says it's a bit like Dirty Dancing. Did you see the behind the scenes doc they did on Netflix? I did not. I would actually like to watch that though. I'd be interested in that. And it's still not working, the super chat. Cause Philip just donated. Kevin is indestructible. What the fuck, Kevin? Kevin can't be stopped. What do he's taking over? What the hell are we gonna do? Philip says, "What the frack was with the ads and movies about dancing? Footloose, Dirty Dancing, and Flashdance. Seriously, what was the deal?" Yeah, and they were all such funky stories too. Even Flash. I think of the three, Flashdance probably had the best story. You know, uh, at least the story just didn't make you go like the other two, where it just was kind of ridiculous. Um, but none of them were good. But all of them, you're right. It had to be the music, Philip, because they all had good music. They really did. What a Feeling was a good song. And Footloose, I have to admit, there were a lot of songs from that one I liked. But again, it was just moronic. And Dirty Dancing wasn't much better. That whole relationship between the two was so ridiculous. And Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner became meme-worthy and became legendary, I believe, because it was so cringe. I don't think because people actually were moved by that moment. I think it was because it was just so over-the-top cringy. It was really bad. Besides, Patrick Swayze, if for no other reason than because of Peter Griffin, is always going to be best known for Roadhouse. Roadhouse. Tsunami says, saw some amazing Twitter discussions that said comedies that paint bad people in a positive light, like Blazing Saddles, need to be banned. Yeah. Oh, Tsunami, that stuff drives me nuts. Any conversation about any type of entertainment that ends with should be banned for any reason is absolute garbage to me. I mean, again, if you're that soft that you think something needs to be banned because you don't agree with the message, then life is just going to be very hard for you because you're kind of a puss. Rosa says, the man who never had to toil to gain and farm his patch of soil, who never had to win his share of sun and sky and light and air, never became a manly man, but lived and died as he began. Mister, she don't, like I say, she's got pretty severe symptoms. She's got very severe flu symptoms. But again, so far, her oxygen levels in her blood are doing well. And Philip still can take over Kevin's unbeatable. Her oxygen levels in her blood are still good. And that's what we're really concerned about. What's the deal, Big Green says, with movies about dancing? Right, Philip says Flashdance was at least based on a true story, though the conflict of the whole thing is artificial. The whole conflict that she refused to use her boyfriend's connections to get into that school. Yeah, like you said, at least it was based on a real person. And the story, while maybe a little funky, wasn't outlandish. The concepts in Footloose was absolutely idiotic, and in Dirty Dancing was pretty ridiculous too. Yeah, I agree with you. Brian says, just able to pop in for a minute while at work. Thoughts and prayers to your wife, wishing her a speedy recovery. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Brian. Appreciate it very much. Yeah, so that's, like I say, that's where we stand right now. That's, when I'm done here, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go grab the monitor and check her blood oxygen again. Because that's aside from anything, that's what I'm concerned about. The other symptoms will go away, just like when you have a flu, they'll go away. But if that oxygen level in her blood drops, that's a problem. Mistress says that's good news. Oxygen is the thing to look for. You are correct. Keep us up to date. I hope and best wishes. I'm sure she will be good in a week or two. Well, thanks, Mister. Yeah, I think she's going to do fine. Excuse me. And it's funny. It's a good thing I just tested myself because I've had this dry cough all day. But I get that a lot as the weather changes, and I never used to. I think it's just because my voice box stays strained all the time because I talk so much. I get up the first thing in the morning, and the first several hours of the day, I'm recording videos. So I'm just, blabbering on and on and on. So that's what I chalk mine up to. This happens to me every year. Rosa says, good timber does not grow with ease. The stronger the wind, the stronger trees. The further sky, the greater lengths. The more the storm, the more the strengths. Very, very cool poem. Yeah, and that's what it is, mistress. I can feel the irritation in my throat. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's awful. Ha ha hee hee. Says, my dad had cancer. Oof. And got COVID on top and had to stay 1 month longer in the hospital. We were really lucky. Yeah, it's scary when you have something like, again, when you're battling cancer and your body's already got all hands on deck, your immune system trying to fight that, and then you get COVID on top of it. Well, that's why we're concerned with my wife, too, because she has breathing issues anyway. She has asthma. So that's, excuse me. Again, the pain that she's going through with the body pain, muscle aches and everything sucks, but that'll go away. The big thing is we're just monitoring that oxygen level in her blood. Chrome says Hollywood goes in trends. True. Westerns, musicals, now superheroes. Though the superhero trend is ending, wonder what's next. Probably live action anime films or video games films. If Mario does well, that could be. Oh, could you imagine what Hollywood? Oh, if that caught on. See, there would have been a point where, as a concept, I would have been excited and enthused to see Hollywood start making live action anime, just because I love anime, and a lot of them would really lend themselves well to a well done project. But because of just what we talked about last time we were talking about this, and Chrome brought it up, and she's 100% right, because of the egos involved in Hollywood, you cringe at them doing it, because typically they're not going to be true to the actual stories. They're going to, they're going to take over, and they're going to fix things. And that's how you end up with garbage live action makes of some of our favorite things. Mistress says Dragon Ball Evolution 2 when? Oh, please. Please stop. Maybe, Rosa. Rosa says if it caught on, bigger money would take their crack at it with bigger names and better script writers and all that. Here, maybe. I just worry about the ego involved. It's not even, I don't think the people are talented enough for it. I think the ego clouds their judgment. Because again, as a concept, I like that. I love anime. So, if you could take, and they picked some anime, like Cowboy Bebop, that would lend themselves well to live action. It's just a matter of them doing it right. And now, see, Kevin's unbeatable. Well, I think Streamlabs is just having an issue. When we stream again, if this still won't work and Kevin's still sitting here, we'll have to figure out what the hell's going on. But now, as far as I'm concerned, they already ruined Cowboy Bebop. One of my all-time favorite characters in anime is Radical Ed. She's not even in the fucking show. I don't understand why you would make a remake or make a live action of Cowboy Bebop and leave out a character like her. I lost interest. I don't have an interest in seeing it now. Well, why would I? You took my favorite character out of it. Philip says, there once was a man fond of ale who drank every night without fail. Got drunk one night, woke with a fright to find a bedmate not female. That's pretty good. Limerick I wrote in my high school creative writing class. That's really good. That's really good, Philip. I like that one. That's a uh-oh. That's a holy shit moment. Oh, is it? Wolverine says Black Widow is free on Disney Plus next Wednesday. If I got time, I'd sit and watch that. I like the Black Widow character. Tsunami says, Curtis, who's your favorite fat guy character? You gotta have one. Can't say Fat Boo, you goddamn weak. That's who I would have said. I love Fat Boo. Favorite fat guy character? That's tough because you got Homer and Peter Griffin right at the top of the list there. But yeah, it's gotta be Peter Griffin. Gotta be Peter Griffin. Wolf says, even the creator of Cowboy Bebop abandoned the live action show. Yeah, I mean, this goes back to what Chrome had alluded to in our previous stream about them making bad decisions. Why? I can't wrap my brain around it. Why would you just fail to incorporate one of the central characters? Because there's no way that not having Radical Ed is going to make the story better. And all you've done is, obviously, if you want this movie to do well, you have to appeal to the anime fans and the Cowboy Bebop fans. Well, I consider myself both an anime fan and a Bebop fan, and you just lost me. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, because I don't want to see it without my favorite character in it. Why? You lost. Not that the other characters aren't great, but I already know it's not going to be a satisfying experience for me because you took away my favorite character. Hood says, you can't say Fat Boo anymore. It's fat shaming. You got to say plus size Boo. Yes, I know. Hey, thanks for that, Lulu. Sometimes we fall off the PC bandwagon here, and we got to start paying more attention to that. Chrome says, no, that's not true. Bebop's creator didn't abandon it. Oh, he wasn't involved in the first place. Oh, I didn't know that. He tried to talk to Netflix while they were working on it. They ignored him and didn't respond. There's a huge shock. Hopefully, when he was trying to talk to him, he was trying to, hopefully he was saying, why the hell isn't Radical in this, you bunch of fucking dimwits? But I mean, you guys know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm sure I'm not the only one. And you're already alienating fans before I've seen anything of it. I don't have any interest. I'm just not in anything that you were to turn into a live action anime. Be like, okay, you're gonna do Hellsing Ultimate, but we're not gonna have Saris in it. Okay, so have a good time with Hellsing because I don't give a fuck anymore, and I love Alucard, but who wants to see it without Saris in it? Well, thanks, Masuda. Yeah, we'll be good. Wank says, I similarly to you have a very good resistance to illness and very good genetics overall. Only bad thing is my vision. I can't see without my glasses. I'm colorblind. Yeah, well, I wear glasses too, but I'm nearsighted. The reason I don't wear them for streams or the videos or to record videos is because everything's up close, and I can't have my glasses on for things up close. But yeah, anything. This is right where I'm sitting here. This is right at the limit. Now it's sitting here and looking at you guys' chat, which is just a small corner of my screen. That's at the limit of before I would have to put on my glasses. Yeah. In the halls of Hell dines a little demonic gamer says, if Hellsing Ultimate live action doesn't have Saris, I'm nuking the whole fucking world. Exactly. But I mean, I know she's obviously much more central and huge to the story than is Radical Ed, but it's still the same thing. It's still my favorite character. She was so quirky and cute and funny, and her exit from the show was one of the most bittersweet, heart-wrenching things I've seen, and she's not going to be in it. Okay. Lick says I should audition for the role of Saris in live-action Hellsing. I already hate anime, so I know how to start drama on Twitter. All I need is a blonde wig and fake tits. that actually makes me harken back to watching The Hellsing Abridged. The scene where right out of the blue it caught me. They were saying said something to Saris about her bra, and she says, "I don't wear a bra." I still I swallowed my tongue. Is what happened. I almost died. Big Green says, "Yeah, Saris was there from start to finish." And I'm like that. Yeah, she's definitely more central. But to me, the point still stands. It's like if it's your favorite character, and Ed is clearly a significant character in Bebop. She's not a side character. If your favorite character's not in it, your enthusiasm for it just dies away. Philip says to play devil's advocate, scene to scene remakes haven't had the best history in Hollywood. Remember the scene for scene remake of Psycho with Vince Vaughn? But yeah, this is gonna suck. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't mean to insinuate that. I'm not saying they need to go scene for scene with the anime, but to cut out one of the central characters is a very bold move, and I just can't for the life of me see how you can make that story better without her. So if you can't make it better without her, why didn't you include her? That's the way I look at it. And again, as you said, Philip, and I agree with that point, you don't necessarily have to go scene for scene. I just think you have to stay honest to the story, which I don't think they will. Willie says they released their version of the intro for the first look at Bebop on Saturday, and it gave me big anger. The day they want Ed in season 2. Yeah, I don't know. I just again they lost me. I guess now if it comes out and you guys would be my my testing point. If you guys came in and said, no, it's actually pretty good, then I would give in and watch it. But it just lost any interest for me because they don't have my favorite character. Kaiser says, so Getter arc ended yesterday. Somehow they managed to replace the manga cliffhanger with a slightly longer anime cliffhanger past where the manga ended. It was an epic cliffhanger, though. I like a good cliffhanger. Mistra says, I'm sure Spaz get excited for D&D 5.5, although the news was like yesterday. So, see, I don't even know about it. I'm sure he probably was. I've talked to him, every day over the weekend, but it was mostly just talking, concerned about his mom. Oh, okay. Chrome says, here's live action Bebop's intro. It does look like a bad fan product. Vicious's hair is awful. Oh boy. Hold on, guys. I'm going to look at this real quick. See, I can't let too much of this play on stream. You never know what they're going to do. I'll have to turn the volume way down. The look of the actor for I had already seen him, but for Bebop doesn't look bad. You're right though; it doesn't look slick. Well, in fairness, because it's old school Bebop, maybe they didn't want it to look slick. But yes, it does look like something fan made. I think they feel like they only have to make sure a female character remains in something like this if it's got sex appeal. And obviously, Radical Ed was not about sex appeal. She's a kid. So I think they just figured she was expendable. Yeah, some of the... Okay. I agree with you 100% on what you said, Chrome. It does look like... it does definitely look like it was fan made or something. Okay, now let me catch up where we were here. I heard the thing go. I still can't unseat Kevin, but at least I heard the sound. It's Nacho Says since Ed shows up late and leaves early, like the perfect storm she is, and doesn't get involved in the cast's personal arcs, the masterminds at Netflix probably thought she was unnecessary. Yeah, yeah. And you know what I think too, Nacho. We're just talking about that now. If Ed's character had been a big titted hottie that everybody was cosplay, fuck off, chain. Everybody cosplays as at Comic-Con, I'll bet you they wouldn't have cut her. You know, in the same type of situation, but just because she's just a kid, they're like, that's my thinking anyway. The way my thinking on how they think. True. Oink says, "Hey, that's offensive. Fans make good stuff all the time." That is true. I shouldn't even say that it was fan made because the fans might do a better job. I'm wondering is if it has that look intentionally, because again, Bebop was very old school, or if it's just because that's what they were able to produce. Johnny says, "I heard there might be a Hogan's Heroes reboot in the works." Really? Hope it isn't true because it's my favorite show ever and they'll 100% fuck it up. Oh, yeah, Johnny, because they wouldn't have the balls to do Hogan's Hero. Listen, the PC crowd, somebody will be up in arms if you're mean to Nazis nowadays. They would completely destroy it. You could never remake that now. Well, you could, but they wouldn't do it right. That Slushies and stuff makes an excellent point. If it was fan made, they would have included Ed. Yeah, excellent point. Very true. Chrome says it's recreating Bebop's intro, but removing the objectionable content. Yeah. Also, it's lower energy than the original intro. That I agree with. Even the animated parts. Gren's now trans, by the way, not a drug test prisoner. Really? I definitely won't be watching it. Again, if you guys come to me and say, "Hey, Curtis, that it was actually pretty good," I'll take a chance. But on my own, nah, not gonna watch it. Fuck it. They've just pissed me off. Nolan says, "Here's how a live adaptation of a harem anime would go. Hey, you guys know that show High School DxD? Yeah, let's do that, but without the girls." Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, Nolan. we can't have this unreal embodiment of what a woman should look like in here. So let's just do it where everyone is gender neutral. Hey, yeah, Kaiser makes a good point, actually. I'm surprised they did cut her. You'd expect Hollywood to make her non-binary. Because of her look and everything, you're right. I'm surprised they didn't jump at that chance. Okay, Wolverine, thanks for being in, pal. But yeah, I had zero interest to begin with. After seeing that opening, I have less than zero. So the only way I'll watch it is if you guys told me that it was really exceptional. And I'm going to be willing to bet money you guys won't be telling me that it's really exceptional. Philip says, "When I was a kid, I always wanted a Hogan's Heroes movie. That wasn't until I saw the A-Team movie. Yeah, that was bad." I liked the A-Team. I liked Hogan's Heroes too. Yeah, that. Johnny says, "Besides, nobody could do Sergeant Schultz like John Banner." I see nothing. They would ruin that, Johnny. They would absolutely sanitize that up so much it would be unrecognizable. Chrome says Hollywood's egos are too big to do faithful live-action versions. Agreed. Japan does straight-up scene recreations of manga to anime. Hollywood writers openly admit to hating that concept. Yeah, because you're right. It's absolutely ego, though. It's no matter how successful or how good an IP might be, guarantee when Hollywood gets a hold of it, they'll tell you how they're going to fix it. Jack Queen says, "Sorry to hear about the Mrs. Old Man. Hope she's okay and that all of you will be okay too. If you're getting sweaty with that fever, then feel free to take off that troublesome shirt." Oh, thanks. Yeah, as I said, for anybody that just came in, she's got severe flu symptoms, like a really, really bad flu. But again, I'm monitoring the oxygen levels in her blood, and so far so good. That's That's our whole ball of wax here, as far as if she needs to go for to the hospital, or get under medical supervision, because especially with her breathing issues, if that oxygen level in her blood drops, she's going to the hospital. But so far, again, so far so good on that, and no fever, which is excellent. I agree, Willie. He says Vicious looks awful. They showed Julia for some reason. I fear for Gren's character, and the biggest controversy is that they changed Faye because she was too sexy. Probably not why they cut Ed then. Oh, Jesus Christ. Faye was sexy in the show, so... Oh. Yeah, I'm not watching it. Just in case I hadn't made that clear. Let's see. Joel says there's no telling how far down this chat goes. Stormstar says, sorry to hear about that. Got my fingers crossed that it passes through quickly without worry. Well, thanks, Stormstar. I appreciate it. But as a matter of fact, I do have to go, guys. We've been just a little under an hour, and again, I want to just keep tabs on her. So she's just laying on the couch, and I keep telling her, every few hours she gets up, walks around a little bit, keep the circulation flowing and everything like she's supposed to. But outside of that, I just let her lay down. I've been taking care of Nene and everything, so she can just relax. But I do want to go down, and especially as long as she's still got the bad flu-like symptoms, I want to keep checking that blood oxygen level. So I'm going to go take another check on that and just make sure it's all okay. But thank you guys very much for the stream. Again, as it always is, it was a great pick me up. You guys just make this such a fun diversion for me when I do have a lot on my mind and stuff, and I appreciate that a lot. And so today's sticky stuff, it's Monday, it's blast sticky stuff, but I am in a house with COVID-19 actively going on, so it's kind of like a lottery. Some of the sticky stuff will probably have a little COVID in it. It is what it is. But so, it's the old 6-shooter with one bullet. A little Russian roulette. We have a good Russian contingency here. That's fair. So here it is. Sticky stuff with just a touch of COVID added in, just for flavor, just for spice. Pampu pampu. Sticky stuff for you. Sticky stuff for you. Sticky stuff. Oh, there goes a little right there. Sticky stuff for you. Sticky stuff for you. Oh, little more right there. Maybe you'll catch one of the lucky ones, because we'll bang. Okay, Flashly like Buggy, and as always, and most importantly, it's never luck. It's just solid. Goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh. Ah. Yes, sir, Andrew.